welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at Sixth Scale Cantina live. And wow, what an episode we have in store for you. The secondary market is going absolutely bonkers right now. You got a figure that is trying to chase down Darkside Anakin in that $700 tier range. You got several figures that have breached the $500 tier range. You got several other figures that have breached the $400 tier range, the $300 tier range. You got all kinds of peculiarities down at Sideshow when you sort it out bestsellers wise. Let's get into all of this right now. All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show live. And I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk during this live episode, along with my special guests. This is like Hot Toys Hollywood Squares, baby. We got from Geeking Out, Nate.
What up, y'all? How y'all been?
And we got from the Action Figure Cave, Mike.
What's going on, guys? We're at a rock.
So listen, I've got the link to both of these guys' channel within the video description below. So if you have not checked them out yet, if you haven't subscribed to the Action Figure Cave, if you haven't subscribed to Geeking Out, you need to go ahead and check them out. They've got some really, really good content. They talk a lot of hot toys, and we'll give them an opportunity a little later in the show to go ahead and plug what's going on and what's new on their channels. We are going to have Dante from the Man of Hot Collectibles on the next live stream. He had a personal matter that he had to take care of tonight, but the Man of Hot Collectibles, he will be with us on April 24th. On our next live stream, so we certainly look forward to that for sure. But there is a ton that is going on. So let us go ahead and actually, everybody, go right into it. And just as we do with every Market Outlook edition of the Market Value Chart Show, we will go ahead and start off at sixthscalecantina.com. And we're going to go ahead and go to the biggest movers section. So the first figure that I'm going to go ahead and speak to before I go ahead and turn it over to the panel members here and we discuss it. And you can see as I'm pulling up on the screen, there is a lot of differences within the biggest mover section, not only over the last 2 weeks, but over the last week. You can just take a look at this right here and it boggles the mind a little bit. So the first figure that I want to go ahead and speak to, though, is the animated Boba Fett. Now, this figure was already steady within the low $600 tier range and was steadily selling high 500s, low 600s for a long time. And even before the Mandalorian Season 2, and even before Boba Fett showed up in the Mandalorian Season 2. Now, when you go ahead and go to a couple of recent auctions, and I'll go ahead and bring that up on the screen. So let me bring up one here that you can see. So back from March 31st, with 25 bids, $710. This figure continually sells deep within the $600 tier range and is now starting to sell within the $700 tier range. Now, tying right into this, I'm going to go ahead and bring up another auction. You can look right here at a current, listing where this vintage color Boba Fett just sold on April 5th for $374 $1.95. So when this figure first was announced by Hot Toys, and this was before The Mandalorian Season 2, and this was certainly before any of us knew that Boba Fett was going to show up within The Mandalorian Season 2, and before any of us knew that he was going to go ahead and have his own series on Disney Plus. I would say no way in the world was that vintage color Boba Fett going to touch the animated Boba Fett. But you have to look at it differently now, especially with the way I've just showed you. The way the animated Boba Fett is now only about $40 away from hitting the $700 tier range, and it's only, about $30 away, the vintage color Boba Fett, from breaching the $400 tier range. So I am going to go ahead and bring up for the first one this evening and go to our first panel member that I want to go ahead and bring this up to. And here you go, Mike. The first one. Is it possible that animated Boba Fett, could it go where Darkside Anakin is, within the $700 tier range? And is it also possible that vintage color Boba Fett can get near the animated Boba Fett? What say you?
So, yes, on the first question, definitely this animated Boba Fett is going to hit 700. Unfortunately, I don't have it. And, I have the other two Boba Fetts. I have Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and I had the vintage. So I never really wanted the animated Boba Fett, but now that the fact that, you can have a whole Boba Fett collection, and if you're missing this figure, you're missing this figure. So I definitely see it going up. There's probably not a lot out there of this figure, and with Boba Fett reappearing on the Mando show, and obviously has his own TV show as well, this figure is going to keep going up, and I'm surprised by it, to be honest with you, because I never had any interest in this figure when it first came out. So this is definitely a shocker for me. As for the vintage color one, yeah, I think so. I think give it some time. It will. Don't forget, it comes in that really awesome package. So that is definitely something to look for.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead, and I totally agree. I believe too that it's very possible that vintage color Boba Fett, only because of everything that Disney Plus and Lucasfilm is doing and using with Boba Fett. These are novelty items. The animated Boba Fett, Nate, yeah. and so is the vintage color Boba Fett, and it looks like we're going to get a lot more of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. So, what is your take on this animated Boba Fett now? Trending, selling for into 700s and close to going where Darkside Anakin is.
Okay, all I'm going to say first is, come on, Aries. You didn't think the vintage Boba Fett was going to reach animated Boba Fett money? Come on.
I did it.
Come on, you're lying. No way. You are lying. You are lying. You're either lying.
To get lightning to strike twice, baby.
No. You're either lying or you try to play it safe. Okay? You try to play it safe, because come now. The Red Rocket vintage Boba Fett? Vintage Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Vintage Red Rocket. The original Red Rocket Boba Fett goes for thousands of dollars, and that's just a freaking 4-inch figure, right?
Yeah. So are you telling me? Are you telling me?
Yes. Okay.
Peek it out. Are you telling me that this vintage color Boba Fett is not only going to reach where the animated Boba Fett is, but it's going to go past it?
Here, past it. That's going to be tough. But it might reach what the animated Boba Fett was running about a few months ago at a 500 range. It was steady at the 500 range. The animated Boba Fett. I was looking to pick that up. The animated Boba Fett about a year ago when I was starting to collect, but I missed out on it. And I've been watching the prices rise up on that figure because that's one of my figures I regret getting. Okay, and I will never get again because the price on that figure is already past the no return. Okay, the no return is $350 for me. So at $350, I might pick it up. But after that, nope, 400, 500. I'll wait for another Boba Fett. Which brings us to the vintage Boba Fett. the vintage Boba Fett is sort of like the animated Boba Fett for people that missed out on it. And that's another reason why I think people will be going after that figure a bit more, because of the lower prices. So the lower prices will that figure will sell out a bit more, and then it become more limited, right? As it becomes more limited, the research is going to bring it up to price, and that's why it's going to hit that 500 range like the animated Boba Fett.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I do think it's going to hit that $500 tier range, that vintage color Boba Fett. And no, I mean, I know it's kind of funny, but I am telling you, Red Rocket and all, Kenner lore, everything with that vintage color Boba Fett, there was no way in the world that I thought that it was going to reach where animated Boba Fett is. But now I looked at it differently, the way that they brought this back, right, Mike? I mean, you have to look at it differently, the way that Disney has brought back Boba Fett. And now he's not even just in the Mandalorian. He's got his own series.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you have to wonder what is going to happen with both of these novelty Fett items once we get closer, Mike, to the book of Boba Fett. I mean, it could have another spike just for that.
And these two items are not coming back out. They're not going to release them. So not happening. So and keep going up.
No, absolutely not.
But it's a good point what Nate said. Get that vintage one. If you want, that one's going to keep going up, especially with the animated one that's going up. I mean, I like the vintage one better. It's my personal
It's more iconic. It's actually more
exactly.
iconic. The thing is, no one and their mother, unless you were a Star Wars fan, knew who the hell was the animated Boba Fett. Like, wait a minute, animated Boba Fett. The hell is that? Is that from the show? From the show that came out years ago? A lot of people didn't know. That's why it sat on Sideshow for a minute. Because, I'm going to get this. It looks cartoony. But now it's one of the most sought after Boba Fett's out there, next to the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett and the quarter scale version. I have the vintage Boba Fett. He's displayed right next to my Death Trooper. So
yeah,
well.
Great.
One of the comments was asking about, we're talking about the animated Boba Fett here, and of course that means that we've already discussed this vintage color Boba Fett down on this list, so we don't have to do that later. But one of the questions was, hey, what is going to happen? What is going on with Leia? So let's go ahead and get right into what's going on with Leia. So as you can see in the biggest mover section, you have Leia A New Hope and Leia Hoth. First with Leia A New Hope. This figure has now entered the $500 tier range. Let's go ahead and go to some recent listings for Leia. So, pulling this one up on the screen, you can see right here, this one, now this one went for $460, everybody, back on April 8th with 46 bids with damage. There are spots on the gown. Spots on the gown, Nate, on this figure, and it still went for $460. Now, let me bring up one that didn't have a problem. And you can look at this auction back from April 7th. 25 bids, 600.
A new one, yeah.
And $21. Now, I'm going to tie this in to Leia Hoth, which is also, going a little bit crazy right now. So bringing this up on the screen, you can see right here a recent auction with Leia Hoth, 58 bids, $510 back from April 4th. So, let's go ahead now and look at the biggest movers section again. And I want to also bring up, if you scroll down now and tie to that, look at this on the screen here, Nate. You've got Leia Bespin above the Jawa and Gonk droid, and you have Leia Endor on the screen as well. So, in light of what's going on with Leia A New Hope, and that, Leia Bespin figure. Now I'm going to go to you first here, Nate. And I'm going to give you this now. Is it possible that the Leia Bespin and the Leia Endor by herself, is it possible that those figures are going to go where those other two Leia figures are going? What say you?
I say yes, more so on the Bespin Leia, because it's the most beautiful Leia out there at the moment. Like, it's not the most sought after, because it sat around for a minute, but it is a nice look. And if we ever get the Bespin Han, that figure is going to go high, because people want to pose up the Bespin Leia with the Bespin Han. You know what I mean? So it's going to go high. It is going to go high because they're limited now. And also, I think was it a Cycles exclusive? Was it an exclusive figure? I can't remember if Bespin Leia was an exclusive figure.
Yeah, I don't think the Leia was that, Mike. I don't think the Leia Bespin was an exclusive figure.
No, I don't think it was. You could get a Big Bad Toy Store, and
the Paradox Nerd is in the house. Let's go ahead and add the Paradox Nerd to this stream. And
hey, what's up,
guys?
What Paradox is going on?
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PJ Paradox Nerd. What's going on? Thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm kind of late. I was actually out with the fam on this nice, beautiful Saturday. But thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me on. What's up, Aries? Sixth Scale Cantina, Michael, and of course Nate geeking out. What's going on, buddy?
So, bro, how you
Good to
been?
have you
Hey,
in the house.
When you gonna bring me to your streams, man? We need to talk.
I know.
I need to find out why you're moving to statues. You've been doing a lot more statues.
I do both. Well, I do the Sith cast, so I do mostly. I kind of split it up now. So, well, we'll talk.
Okay.
So, yeah, glad to be on. Thanks for having me, man.
So look, PJ, we'll have you jump right in, but first,
yeah.
So what we're talking about right now is the Leia figures, and going back here to sixthscalecantina.com, and Nate, you were just talking about that you feel. This Leia A New Hope has entered the $500 tier range. Leia Hoth is getting close to breaching the $500 tier range as well. And you're looking at these Leia figures, the Leia Bespin and the Leia Endor figures. And as some of the commentators, single songwriter, one of the commentators pointed out, all of these head sculpts on these Leias are all good. And Nate, you say that these figures are absolutely probably going to hit, within that, range, that $400, $500 tier range where we're seeing those other figures. And we're going to go to you, PJ, in just a minute. But Mike, I know you wanted to say something about these. So what is your take on that? And do you think that those Leia figures, personally, Mike, I think right now, the way that those other Leias are trending, you could still get Leia Bespin and Leia Endor right now. You can go ahead and get those figures for the high $200 tier range, even the mid $200 tier range right now. So I think if anybody's looking for a Leia, now's the time, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. You need a Leia, go and get one right now, because especially that Bespin one. That one, like, I agree with Nate. I think that one has more of a chance to go up to the same level as Hoth and
Bespin Han, man, it's coming. I'm just saying.
Bespin Han's coming. Bespin Luke. They've been teasing that for a long time. They already had one out already, but obviously they're going to re-release another one. So yeah, like someone said, all the Leias are great. The head sculpts are amazing, and that Bespin one is just beautiful. I know it doesn't come any weapons or anything like that, but it just looks awesome. So definitely go out and get yourself that Leia. Don't wait. Don't sleep on it. Don't wait till $500, $600. Do it now. $300, $350. Go and get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And real quick before we go to you, PJ, Dante, yeah, no, absolutely. We look forward to having you on the 24th, and so glad that Man of Hot Collectibles is joining us on the chat for sure. But PJ, let me bring this to you. And one of my comments, one of my subscribers brought this up to me this week. And I think that this is a very good point. I don't really see Hot Toys reissuing any of these Leias except for the A New Hope Leia, because you got the 50th anniversary of Star Wars looming. So I think they're going to come out with it there. You also got A New Hope Leia, essentially, in Rogue One. And even though, albeit she's only in there for a few seconds, so is Solo Maul. and they're releasing Rogue One figures right now, Hot Toys. So I do think there's a reissue of that one. But one of the points that they brought up, PJ, was how about Leia when, Chewbacca was choking Lando there, and she kind of had the Hoth suit on, the white suit, but had the Bespin hair. I mean, they could really just swap the head sculpt. What do you think about that? Do you think that that's possible?
Yeah, well, I mean, for the people that have both the Hoth and the Bespin Leia, which I do, but have both, I've seen people kind of swap it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of them reissuing that, not anytime soon. Usually, when Hot Toys reissue something, they have to have a reason. They just can't just reissue something just for the hell of it. Unless it's like an Iron Man figure, right? Which they're just reissuing left and right. They don't care at this point. Like, they don't need a reason for that. They know there is a market for it, and they'll just reissue that. So with the New Hope, I absolutely believe that. I believe there's an anniversary coming up. Isn't the 50th anniversary of the New Hope coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, that's going to be in what? A few years, right, guys? I mean, I would think.
A few years. Okay, so definitely look out for them reissuing a New Hope Leia with probably a better portrait if they were smart.
Yes.
So usually, so that portrait is kind of outdated.
Yeah.
Basically, a lot of those New Hope, except for maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi and Han.
Stormtrooper Han. Stormtrooper Han is like the best.
Yeah, that's the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's pretty hands-on. But Luke and Leia were kind of like, eh. So, definitely look out for them to reissue some stuff there. Depending. Usually Hot Toys, they kind of look at the market and they go, wait a minute, everyone's buying this $800 like Leia. Like, we got to get some of that money. They did that with 47. They did that with a whole bunch of figures. So with the Bespin Leia, definitely look out for, I mean, like you said, definitely pick it up now. Because once Bespin Luke and Han gets released, that figure is just going to shoot right up. And usually that's the trend, right? Like when there's something big that happens, whether it be a new release of a Hot Toy Star Wars figure or a new, like something that happens in the TV show or a movie, then people go crazy trying to look for that figure. For example, the Return of the Jedi Luke. I remember that Luke wasn't really going for a good, it wasn't really going for a lot of money. But then, oh my gosh, that scene pops up in the Mandalorian, and everyone goes crazy. They're like $500-600. Like
it's not even the best sculpt though. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing with these figures is that you just have to definitely pay attention to what's going on with the Star Wars universe as opposed to just the the figures itself, because usually there's one event that usually happens that makes collectors go crazy. The animated Boba, I think you guys were talking about before I hopped on. I mean, they released a whole bunch of TV shows on Disney Plus, including some of the holiday specials. I believe I haven't gotten around to watching it, but I mean, there's animated Boba Fett,
and they're going to have so much Boba Fett, and that's exactly right. So, you know, and it looks like you're in consensus with us. I mean, I think that animated Boba Fett is going to continue to trend up. Where the ceiling is, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think lightning was going to strike twice in the same place. But now that everything is Boba Fett and the way they're using him, I suspect that vintage color one is going to go up. Now here's a real quick comment. And when someone asks, hey, where can I find the Bespin Leia, the Endor Leia? You can still find them on eBay sometimes for the high 200s, low 300s. And if you're in any of the buy-sell face groups,
you got to be quick.
You got to be quick. It's starting to move up.
You got to be quick.
I saw one. Yeah, I saw one, Nate, on a buy-sell group the other day. I think 245. I'm pretty sure it's gone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, like I've always said, like you gotta keep up with your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, whoever sells Hot Toys, because someone will drop that special price that you've been looking for. Looking for that Grail figure with that price.
But it goes like that. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. My Jyn Erso, I picked her up for $300. And that was just the beginning of the year. Yeah. Okay? And the reason why, because a buddy of mine, he was looking out for me. So that's what I'm saying. Have people looking out for you to find these prices, and then message you. You know, you gotta be on that social media train, because these prices do pop up, and there's people are like, oh, I could never get a grill figure for that price. Well, if you start looking and get the right social media stuff, then yes, you will get lucky sometimes. You will strike gold.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And then, you know, Chris W asked a question before we move on over here. You know, what do we think of Leia? What is that? The Leia, the Bouche outfit, whatever, from Return of the Jedi. Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I can absolutely, especially like what PJ mentioned, that Hot Toys is probably looking at all these Leias right now. You know, you got the one that I brought up about, you know, interchanging the Hoth and the Bespin with the head sculpt, and certainly with the Bouche Leia, without question, I think that they can capitalize on that.
Yeah, they will definitely capitalize on. See, the thing with Hot Toys, they just don't want to release everything all at once, right? They're just like taking their time, and before they really took their time with Star Wars, just because 2 or 3 years ago, Star Wars was in a bad place before the Mandalorian showed up. But now they saw that the Star Wars hype is all-time high, and yeah, expect some of these like tertiary characters, some of these figures to be released. I expect them to do a Mace Windu at some point, and also like a Bouche Leia. I definitely 150% sure they're going to do a Bouche Leia at some point.
Yep. So let's go ahead and go to another figure here on the biggest movers. Go ahead, Nate.
Actually, you know, even though I would like a Bounty Hunter Leia, I wouldn't mind a Endor Princess Leia with the Endor dress. I would love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one.
Yes.
That's another one. Yeah, I didn't even think of that one.
You know, so you know, you got 3 that they could come out with right there for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next figures. So you can see on the screen, Commander Cody continues to trend up. Commander Cody, this figure has entered the $400 tier range. Now, I didn't think that this Commander Cody was going to hit the $400 tier range this quick. Now, but think underestimated him a little bit. But he has, even before, you know, final production photos of Rex have come out, any of that stuff, Commander Cody is now in the $400 tier range. You can go ahead and bring up a recent auction listing right here. So these are just listings, U.S. seller, you know, $449.99 in the $400 range. This recently, you know, just sold. And then we're going to look also at the next one on the biggest mover section, which was the heavy infantry Mandalorian. And, you know, we were wondering with those extra batches, I just got mine like a week and a half ago. You know, was this going to affect the price? And I didn't think that it was, because they were all just waiting, you know, pre-orders. And you can see right here, back from April 9th, 19 bids, $435. Let's go to another one. So pulling this up on the screen. Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, $438 US, back from April 8th. So these 2 figures over here, you know, could continue to rise up within the secondary market. And we're going to go ahead and bring this to Mike here first. So Mike, you know, with Commander Cody, with the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, we expected the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian to hit the $500 tier range eventually. I know that there are some people who are trying to pass it off as a $500 tier range figure now. It's not yet, yeah. But it will be as some months go on. It's 400 really is where I see that figure right now. But Commander Cody, $400 tier range figure now. Mike, what is the ceiling for this Commander Cody and Heavy Infantry Mandalorian? Because we haven't even seen final production photos of Rex.
Yeah, exactly. So I think let's go to Cody first. I think definitely that one has a chance to make it to 500 once Rex is, you know, reissue is out there, because he's the ultimate companion piece to Rex is Cody. So, I mean, it's a great figure too. It's amazing. The head sculpt is amazing, and I know like there's a sideshow one out there. That's good too. But I feel like that figure has a chance to hit 500 when Rex gets released. So that's my opinion on that one. And same thing with the Mando one. I mean, the heavy Mando. I mean, it's only been out for about 2 months, and it's at 430 already. So we're looking at 500, especially if he makes an appearance in season 3, which he probably is, right? So we get heavy Mando in season 3. That figure would go up even more than 500, possibly even 600. Next year or next season.
Well, and I do think that I mean, look, we were talking about that on Geeking Out's Wednesday live stream about season 3 of The Mandalorian. I think we all agreed. Look, there's a story arc right now with Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, where absolutely, Filoni and Favreau are going to bring in the heavy infantry Mandalorian. They're going to bring in that whole faction with him and the armor to develop that tension where he's going to be pulled that way, being pulled towards, what Bo-Katan is trying to do on Mandalore. So I absolutely believe that they're going to show up again, which is going to skyrocket these figures. But, going ahead, PJ, we'll go to you here from there. We talked about this on Geeking Out, and we also talked about this on our last live stream. I don't think it's possible that they straight reissue this heavy infantry Mandalorian, but I think it is possible that they give us another heavy infantry Mandalorian that has some different paint apps, some different wear on the armor, just like with these Mandalorians. It's an opportunity to not only get collectors who want this one, but collectors that already have this one to buy another one. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think with the heavy infantry Mando, yeah, at this point, like if you guys missed out on the figure and you can't find it anywhere, try to see if you could hold out because season 3 is not too far away, and there's a possibility that with Jon Favreau and Filoni, they're always thinking about pleasing the fans and trying to also at the same time try to come up with some more merch. So yeah, expect maybe heavy infantry Mando to be different. Hey, who knows? They might change his gun in season 3. They might change his armor. But yeah, I would definitely think that Jon Favreau would like to put that suit back on and reprise his role as heavy infantry Mando. I mean, will I see this figure go up with that show? Yeah, I would see it go up, but not significantly, especially if they are going to reissue or re-release another heavy infantry Mando. I agree with you guys with Commander Cody. Captain Rex is on the horizon to be released, so Commander Cody's prices will definitely go up. But here's the thing, though. We might see another Commander Cody reissue because this is from rumors, right? That he's supposed to show up on in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Mm-hmm. I think that was, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I think Tamura Morrison's supposed to reprise his role as Commander Cody. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be with, obviously, he's probably going to be with Vader and probably going to try and help Vader and find his old general. So, yeah, I mean, we might get a reissue with the Commander Cody, or if they don't straight reissue that, you're just going to see that Commander Cody rise up to upper $600 to $700 price range.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Nate, before we go to you and get your thoughts on that, just want to welcome everybody to the live episode of the Market Value Chart Show. We're ranging right now between 92 and 96 concurrent viewers. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be talking about here on this live show. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet, that would be so awesome. And then don't forget, with all these guys here, I got the links to their channels within the video description below. Don't forget to subscribe to them. But please go ahead and subscribe to sixthscalecantina.com. But Nate, yeah, that's some interesting perspective there from PJ on Cody, showing up in the Obi-Wan series. There's also, I think, perhaps even a different way that we can show Cody as well. So your thoughts on Cody and the heavy infantry Mandalorian? Do you think that, as PJ was saying, that with another heavy infantry Mandalorian that they could come out with, it could keep this one from going sky high.
Now, I think I wanted to segue from Paradox Nerd here. As far as like the season 3 for Mandalorian, I've been hearing since what happened with Gina Carano that actually season 3 has been pushed back maybe a year. So we are going to get the Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. Things are happening with that. We are still going to get it in December, but we still might see Mandalorian season 3 maybe next year, late next year. So that's what gives us enough time for people to play around with the prices with the Heavy Mando. And I feel that Heavy Mando is probably going to sit around the 500, might hit the 700 range, or maybe 600, like the anime Boba Fett, but I think it's going to be settling down because the hype for that figure, like people are saying on the comment section, that even though the Heavy Mando looks great, he didn't do much in season 1. So that drive to get him is going to dwindle down. But the thing is, we still got a year from now till season 3, and if Heavy Mando does reappear in season 3 with a head sculpt, he might go up in price again, and then people will be like, hey, you know what? Like, I would like a Heavy Mando, and then Hot Toys like, you know what? Let's do a Heavy Mando with the head sculpt. But that's the thing. If he gets a head sculpt, I honestly don't think Jon Favreau's gonna pop in with with the suit on, maybe just his voice, but we shall see. But as far as right now, if you did miss out on the Heavy Mando and you would like to get it on a decent price, by decent price I mean $350 lower, that ship has gone. It'll be a minute before it gets that price.
Yeah,
okay? It's already at the point of no return. So
I think you just got to be lucky with just hitting up some of the local comic book stores and like, and that's just probably like your best bet. I know some people were saying in the chat that they don't think that they'll see the Heavy Mando in season 3. If we are exploring the Mandalorian or the planet Mandalore in season 3, which we most likely are, you have to think that's Clan Vizsla. You know, Vizsla is a huge like clan.
He's the son of past Vizsla. So.
Yeah. So with that being said, he's going to show up, whether it be like a quick, appearance or whatever. He's going to show up in season 3. You know?
Yeah, and Mike, I think the reason, and I think it's a good point. You know, I think it was Chris W. who was saying that, hey, this is a one-off character. And I would normally agree, and I get that point, that we wouldn't see that one-off character again. But again, because of that arc that they're trying to establish with Mando, where he's being pulled to help Bo-Katan, but, he's also, that from the original, clan with the heavy infantry Mandalorian and the armor. I mean, to me, it's a brainer move for the director to say, hey, they already have there was some friction between a Heavy Mando and Din Djarin, and then they kind of worked it out when he waved by, I gotta get me one of those, and to bring him back to kind of that wave again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll be back. I mean, either or. I mean, I won't be surprised if you don't see him, but I won't be surprised if you do see him. But I would see he's coming back. I don't think. I think we might see a reissue of that figure in a different, like you said earlier, different color armor or something different. I mean, maybe not a head sculpt. Maybe head sculpt, but definitely not that same figure again. I don't think that's coming back anytime soon. But the character is gonna reappear. I think so.
So Aries, I want to say one thing about the Cody real quick. As far as Cody is concerned, there's so many avenues Hot Toys can go with reissuing that figure. It could do a Clone Wars version, maybe a Phase 1 version of Cody with the head sculpt. They can even drop a Cody for Kenobi series, if the rumors are true. And I've been hearing that a lot, that Cody will possibly pop up. But the thing is, as far as Cody's concerned, I know there's people out there that don't like Cody because of what he did to Kenobi, and there's people that like Cody from the Clone Wars. But the thing is, the prices don't lie. And I got 2 Codys, right? I got 2 Codys. That's how much I love this character. Love the figure. This figure was the figure of the year.
Look, there's
Like,
people that don't
personally,
like
Figure of the year,
because
damn.
everything he did.
Yeah.
it
They're
was
gonna
the
buy
figure
him,
of the
though.
year.
For Star Wars, yeah, for Star Wars, I think so.
I mean,
yeah.
I thought I got the what's that called? The Beskar armor, Mando before the year.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they Beskar Mando, without a doubt, is still good.
Yeah, no, but
if
the
they
thing,
had dropped the head sculpt, then I would have been like, oh yeah, Beskar Mando, it is the figure of the year.
yeah, but if I didn't get because when it released in Hong Kong, that's when I got it. It was December, so if I didn't get that in December, I would have definitely agreed with you that Commander Cody was number one or is number one Star Wars hot toy for last year.
Wait a minute, that's right. Beskar Mando did come out in December.
Yeah, that's why
I don't know. Maybe I would have put that in 2021 in a way because it was so towards the end of the freaking year. But I do see what you're saying. But I feel because that head sculpt of Tamora Morrison is just perfection. It is perfection. It's Gamora perfection. That's how perfection is that that head sculpt.
Can I just make one point before I guess we move on? Just real quick.
Yeah.
Just go back to like the trend with the Sideshow collectibles clones and how much they were going
absolutely.
for.
Yeah.
Like there's people
crazy.
out there. Yeah, exactly. And for the people that are on the fence with these clones, don't sleep on them. Like seriously, don't. Like you saw the trend with the Sideshow collectibles and how much they were going for. Of course, these are going to sell out even more and go for a higher price. So yeah.
Hey, we've hit 100 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Please continue to hit that like button if you're on here. I really appreciate that. Smash that like button and please subscribe. So with that, let's go to the next figure. And someone brought up in one of the comments, and I flashed it up earlier, what is going on with Rey? And that is a really good question. Let me bring up some data. So, the Last Jedi Rey first, as you can see in the biggest mover section, trending way up. Here's an auction from April 4th with 28 bids, U.S. seller, $431. Let's go ahead and go to another auction of Rey. So you could see here on the screen, this one from April 3rd with 23 bids, $455. Let's go to another Rey. So this Rey right now is actually still has a day and a half left, or over a day and a half. 21 bids, already at $281 and change. Who knows where that one is going to end up on? And then tying that into Rey and BB-8, which we've been talking about on the market value chart show for a number of weeks. This figure is no fad right now. This one continues to rise up. This two-pack here. You see this auction from April 3rd, $335 with 22 bids. So I am going to go ahead and, I'm going to bring this. I was going to give myself this one, but I'm going to give this one to PJ. But you got to let me set it up. You got to let me set this up, PJ, first. All right. Here it comes. Here it comes for you because you didn't get one of these yet. Is it possible that the Rey and Dio figure that is up on Sideshow right now, could this figure be a chase figure? Now, before you answer that question, let me just go ahead and go back to flash up on the screen just a couple of other things I want to show you. So, for me, pulling up this, if I was to answer this question, I would say no if it looks like this. However, I've been telling everybody to check out MRC Collection Ventures. He's got a great channel, and he's got the secret-based video on this Rey. And if this Rey, for me, if this Rey looks like this, and they're going to produce. You don't think they're going to produce a whole lot of the IG-11 or the heavy infantry Mandalorian, but especially the IG-11. And if you don't think they produced a whole lot of Rogue One figures, I am telling you right now, if this figure comes out like this, or anything that doesn't look like the one that the prototype photos, you have to wonder, because even the resistance ray for a couple of months now is also starting to trend up. So again, going back to, and we're going to bring this to PJ. PJ, is it possible that Rey and Dio figure could be a chase figure or even hit waitlist before it gets in stock?
No. No. Well, here's the thing: is that I don't know. There's a good possibility it can, especially with the market value of the previous race that I've seen going up. I don't know. See, the things I don't know if you did this on purpose. Maybe you know how I feel about the sequel trilogy.
Listen, a lot of us feel that way. But yeah, I mean, but the data, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is a big surprise that people are willing to pay that much for Rey. And to be honest, just with the reception of that trilogy alone, there's no way in hell that Hot Toys will reissue those figures ever again.
No way.
So I think the ceiling for those figures are definitely high, especially for those. I mean, we have to remember there are a lot of people that do like the sequel trilogies. There are a lot of younger generation that are growing up with the Star Wars trilogy as their first trilogy. So as they get older, as they make some money, they're going to start looking for these Hot Toys figures that they never knew was out there when they were younger.
I was going to say the same thing.
So maybe that's the trend, that you're seeing a lot of those people starting to come into the market and start looking for these figures. But I don't think it's going to sell out just because it's just, the reception of the trilogy. Not a lot of people like the ending. The ending, the good movie was good for me until the very end, and that just gave me it just made me cringe. No offense to anybody that watched the movie and liked that scene.
Well, but, and here's the thing, and for me, my biggest problem with the sequels is I just wish Luke. I'll just put it this way: the way the Luke came back in the Mandalorian. That's the way I wanted to see Luke, and I didn't see any reason why he had to die. That just really...
They trashed Luke in the sequel trilogy.
They
trashed him.
Oh, my God.
Okay? They trashed it. That was unforgivable, man.
But Nate, listen, but keeping on this, look at this, and we've got 106 concurrent. That's a record. Thank you, everybody. Look, this one said, Joe P., I had all the Rays, recently sold even the Resisted outfit for $285. Look, guys, I'm seeing Rey Resistance outfit, starting to get near the $300 tier range. We're going to talk about Luke Crate. He did enter the $300 tier range. And here's the thing, Nate. We talked about this before we got on the air. The Snow Troopers are trending way down. You could pick those up for $80 a pop. All the troopers are trending way down. So many of the sequel figures are trending down. But Rey is not. Kylo is not.
Oh, Kylo absolutely not.
And the Praetorian Guards are not. So, Nate, what's going on?
Okay, okay. So as far as the sequel trilogy is concerned, Paradox, I am surprised with you. I am very surprised with you because I know when we were doing streams together, you were really hopeful about the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I was.
I told you, no, man, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, man.
I was being, as a Star Wars fan, I was being optimistic. I wanted it to do well.
No, me too. But after what they did the last Jedi, I couldn't. I couldn't.
It was okay until the very end when you killed off the lineage, basically the lineage of the Skywalker with Ben. Yeah, and then the ending. I don't want to go back, but I'm saying that's just yeah.
Okay, I don't want to turn this into a sequel trilogy hate stream. Okay, so
exactly.
Let's get right back to the figures. The reason why the Last Jedi figures are the most sought after right now, well, as far as Rey, Kylo, and the Praetorian Guards, because that was the best moment in that freaking movie.
It was. It absolutely
it was the best
that
moment.
That was the best moment.
Everything that happened in The Last Jedi, that was the best moment. Now, Luke, if they did him properly, during that Luke scene where he could have gone ballistic against the First Order, then yes, that would have been top tier. But they didn't. They just sugarcoated with, oh yeah, I'm a hologram, yay! But anyway, look, the Last Jedi Rey is the best sculpted Rey I've seen so far in this group of Rey figures. Now the Rey from Force Awakens, that you can get that easily on Facebook. eBay, however, the prices are fluctuating, but I've seen that Rey go for like $220, $250. Like, the prices have not been that bad with the Rey. I think the reason why we've seen a lot more hype for the Reys is because Hot Toys has not produced a Rey yet. It's still getting delayed, and the Kylo is still getting delayed from Rise of Skywalker. So I think what we're experiencing here is there's fans of the sequel trilogy that don't have a Rey or have a Kylo, and they're going back buying up figures from the previous versions, which makes sense because we still don't have the right Skywalkers yet, and they should have been out since December.
But here's the thing on that, and I get that point, and I agree with both you and PJ. But Mike, help me out here with this. But you're having Hobo Luke trend down, and you're not seeing anything with the Force Awakens Luke do anything. You're not seeing anything with Phasma. You're not really seeing anything with Finn. And you're seeing most of the trooper. Now, the Sith Trooper does okay. It always does okay. It just okay, like 240, 250 range. So how do you explain that then, Mike? If people are going back because, hey, we're just getting into this now and discovering it, but they too then have no interest in the troopers. They just want Rey, right? Or what do you think?
I have no idea. No,
good answer.
No, seriously. I mean, well, with this Rey here, I mean, it's definitely the outfit. I mean, because all the other Reys are kind of similar.
Yeah, it's a good-looking figure.
It's a nice figure. I mean, the head sculpt is a little too, I don't know. It looks like a Hildy Shank a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those.
That's what it looks like to me. But the outfit is different, And then, I'm not a fan of The Last Jedi, but there is people out there that really like this movie. I mean, they do. I mean, so it is what it is.
Hey, look, I remember when not to cut you off, I'll get you right back in. Listen, I saw The Phantom Menace, I kid you not, 24 times, 24 times just in the theater when that came out. And I had to hear everybody back then. Oh, that Jar Jar Binks, Dude, Thanksgiving.
I was a fan of Jar Jar Binks. I was a fan, okay? I was a fan. I agree with you.
I think you're going to get some people that'll like it, not like it, whatever. It's Star Wars, but it's interesting, Mike. It really is.
I think also too, I mean, if you're gonna, I want to look at myself, right? I don't hate the sequel trilogy, but I don't love it. And if I'm gonna get any representation for those movies, it's gonna be either Rey or Kylo. That's it. I don't want. I don't want a Phasma. I don't want. I don't want any of those troopers. You know what I'm saying? So, and this figure here, this figure looks terrible right now. The photo we have right now, it looks really bad. But if they, if this one here looks a little better.
Yes.
And the fact that, Kylo is coming too, I think this figure might be a little bit of a sleeper, I think.
I think so too. So before we go ahead and move on from Rey,
Aries.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about the troopers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ever since The Force Awakens, the troopers have been selling for deals. I remember people telling stories about the Force Awakens troopers where they couldn't sell that to save their lives. They were literally giving these figures away because they were sitting in stock. Like, the biggest story I heard was Big Bad Toy Store was selling these Force Awakens troopers for literally $60 a pop. Okay, and I honestly wish that I was collecting at the time because I don't mind the Force. I don't mind the troopers. I don't mind the First Order troopers. Unfortunately, they didn't do nothing. That's why the Patrolling Guards are doing so well because they actually did something.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to touch upon like you know what you guys were mentioning about Rey and Kylo trending up and the rest of the figures trending down. Well, see, the things, a lot of people love Rey. A lot of people like Kylo. That was basically, I mean, Kylo has to be like the most consistent character throughout the whole trilogy. His story arc was the same.
Yeah. Well,
and
including me, I have all the Rey figures. I mean, for me, I like them as well.
Yeah, and same with Rey. But the thing is, with Hobo Luke and some of the people don't like seeing that Luke, right? They don't like to be reminded yeah.
Look, I don't have that Luke. I have the crate Luke, PJ. No, go ahead. Go on. I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the Hobo Luke, not a lot of people, especially after seeing the Mandalorian where Luke came in and kicked butt, they don't want to be reminded that Luke is going to be like this douchebag like later on in the sequel
now
trilogy.
The head sculpt is beautiful though. I gotta
it
say
is,
that.
It is.
I love
Yeah,
the bearded.
yeah.
Oh
head
yeah,
sculpt.
without question.
Yeah, it does look
Yeah.
good, but I don't even want that.
Now there's people out there that, like what PJ is saying, there's people out there that are buying the just the Hobo Luke, just to kid bash him, because of the low prices he's going for. People are going back and buying them just for kid bashes. That's all I've been seeing on Facebook. Kid bash Jedi Master look, the way he should have been. I've been seeing posts like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just going to trend up, and if it's true about the Ahsoka show being like, because they're going to introduce the world between worlds in that show, and they're basically they're not going to retcon the sequels, but they're trying to make it like an alternate universe kind of thing,
like the Marvel multiverse.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't want to get into it, but let's just say that if they do that, all these like Rey figures are just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, and I do think if anybody's listening out there and you're sleeping on that Rey and Dio and you want a Rey figure, and right now you see some of these Rey figures are, $400 now. I mean, that Rey, The Last Jedi, entered the $400 tier range. It's a lot less expensive to get the Rise of Skywalker one right now. Now, I do understand that the prototype photos are a little suspect, but if you want a Rey figure, that one is coming out at a more reasonable retail price. And
now, there will be a good surprise, though. There will be a nice surprise, because if the delays are happening with the Rise of Skywalker Rey, it'd be pretty cool if they drop us, the yellow lightsaber as an extra accessory.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And they could because Hot Toys has done stuff like that before, right? Mike and PJ, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't.
Yeah, they can. And the one thing with the Rey and Dio, like the Rey head sculpt, I mean, that's usually the case with prototype figures, especially with female Hot Toys figures. I don't think there has been a really bad female sculpt by Hot Toys. So yeah, just expect that prototype to be totally different once the final production piece comes out. It's definitely going to look a lot better than what you see. So if you guys missed out on all those Reys and you want a Rey in your collection, yeah, might as well get the Rise of Skywalker one and have her as she's a Jedi, I guess, in that movie. So
yeah, and as Nate said, maybe you'll get a yellow lightsaber with it too.
Yeah.
We'll have to certainly keep an eye on that. Well, let's move away from the sequels, and we're going to go to the OT, because a figure here that has now its brand new entry within the biggest mover section, Han Solo from A New Hope. Now, this figure is just like $20, $30 away from the $500 tier range. Now, I will say this about this figure. I am not surprised that this figure is starting to reach towards the $500 tier range, because the highest package from Hot Toys for Star Wars is by far this Han and Chewie 2-pack. So it continually, it many times sells between $900 and $1,100, and of course that means it also sells $800 and $900 range as well. But I'm not surprised individually you're seeing Chewie start to really, sell up in the $400 tier range as well. But let's look at a couple of recent Han Solo auctions here. So pulling up on the screen. Now, I want to bring this up because this is incomplete, and it doesn't come with the art box at all. And April 8th, 4 bids, $406. Now, here's a Han that actually is complete, comes with the art box, and I'll pull that up on the screen. And it seems just like with the A New Hope Leia, and just like you're seeing with A New Hope Obi-Wan, and just as we've been seeing also with Luke, that Luke is now a $400 tier range figure. Some months ago it was only $300. $500 with 27 bids back from April 7th. And that's not even including shipping, guys. And, I'm going to go ahead and bring this to Nate. And we kind of lost PJ there.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There you are. Lost your picture, but we got you.
Sorry. I'll
All right, what you got for me? What did you got for me, man?
Well, let me go ahead and pull this up. So here's the thing. Right here, a lot of people ask me all the time on this, are we going to get Bespin Han? And they did tease Bespin Han with this Bespin Leia prototype figures. And I absolutely believe that, to come up with a Bespin Han to me is far more likely, especially because they are already teased it, with this prototype picture, than coming out again with this A New Hope version of Han Solo, Nate, because apparently, and it's a rumor, but a pretty strong rumor, sometimes Harrison Ford is hard to get through all the red tape to get action figures approved and to get him to sign off, and perhaps this or that. So, for me, I don't see them reissuing this figure before the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, but I could certainly see them, with the way the market is going crazy on Han, giving us a Bespin Han. So the question to you here, Nate, is it possible that they will go ahead, Hot Toys, and come out with a Bespin Han this year or next year?
It's gonna be tough, because look at the last ESB figure that came out for pre-order, Lando. We didn't see nothing of Bespin Han in there as far as prototypes are concerned in those pictures, and usually Hot Toys likes to tease the next figure prototype in these, like, for example, let's see, which one came out first? Was it Ahsoka or Darth Maul? I think it was Ahsoka, right? Came out first for pre-order, and then we were seeing Darth Maul, Clone Wars Darth Maul, in the background of the pictures. And I think it was the same thing with Darth Maul in the original Phantom Menace pre-order, where they were showing off Qui-Gon in the background, right? So the thing is, Hot Toys does tease prototypes, and I feel that just to not wild up the collectors, they didn't show Bespin Han in any of the. Come on, if you're gonna put up Lando for pre-order, why didn't you show off Han in the background of those Bespin shots with Lando? It makes you wonder if Bespin Han is even in the in the freaking system at this point, because I'm right now, like, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. Like, I want a Bespin Han. There's collectors out there that are going back because of they're taking so long to release him or even give out a prototype. They're going back and buying up old Han.
I'm cautiously optimistic as well. And I've also heard, the rumors as well, and it could be very well true that, Howard Chan or, Hot Toys, didn't really like the way, Harrison Ford was, working with his, Force Awakens figure on one of the late night shows.
I think freaking Don Prime is just selling that idea. Okay.
But Don might have a point on that. But I think at the end of the day, though, right, business is business. They're going to come out with an Indiana Jones movie. I'm sure that, Hot Toys, hopefully they'll have that license for that at this point. I don't know where they're at, but I think, Han Solo, you have a license for Star Wars. He's one of the most beloved characters. Yeah, there's always red tape with Harrison Ford to get figures done, but you go through it, you get him to sign off, and I think that this happens, PJ.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen in this May the 4th or maybe later on this year. We're overdue for that Han. I mean, how long ago was the Bespin Leia released? Yeah, with Harrison Ford, he just doesn't like Star Wars. I don't understand.
I will see a Bespin Luke. I'll see a Bespin Luke released for pre-order before we see a Bespin Han.
Bespin, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we'll see a Bespin Luke maybe in May the 4th this year, and then I don't know if we're gonna see a Bespin Han. It's very unlikely. Like you guys, I'm very cautiously optimistic about it. But yeah, with like you said, Aries, there's a lot of red tape with Harrison Ford. We saw what he did to the New Hope Han Solo figure in one of the Tonight shows. He destroyed that thing.
Yeah.
So
Was that
yeah, he ripped it apart. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he does sign off and we do get it pretty soon. But again, cautiously optimistic. I'm not gonna wait on it to. I'm not gonna go crazy if they don't release it.
Yeah. Mike, and to you, what are your thoughts on them releasing a Bespin Han? And are you really shocked that the A New Hope Han is getting close to the $500 tier range at this point?
No, I'm definitely not shocked on that one. I mean, all these A New Hope figures, they're going to keep going up and up and up. They're untouchable, and it doesn't matter if you release another, they say if you release another hand and Bespin, it's not going to hurt that value. So definitely not shocked about that. I don't think we're going to see a hand in Bespin this year. I think, like what Nate said, I think we have a better chance seeing Luke. And maybe once Lando comes out, and in case Lando doesn't sell too well, I'm not saying he's not going to, but in case he doesn't sell too well, and that other Luke, the snowspeeder Luke, doesn't seem to be selling that great as well. But maybe once those figures are released, they will give us a hand then.
It's unfortunate because the Bespin Lando and the Hoth Luke, those are going to be sought after figures.
No, they look great
once they sell out. Because you know how many people are going after the sideshow Hoth Luke. People are still gunning for that figure. And when this finally sells out, people are going to gun for the Hoth Luke. And then of course the Bespin Lando. If you're not picking up the Bespin Lando, you feel like you want to get him later. This is your chance because I don't see the pre-orders going high with this one.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you have to have Lando in your collection.
It's a day one pre-order.
I'm sorry.
It's like a long time.
You have to have him. Just go pre-order him. Don't even think about it. If you're a Star Wars fan, don't even think about it. Just go get it.
Imagine having a shelf of Bespin Leia, Bespin Han, Lando, and Bespin Luke. That'd be amazing. That's just got to have them all. I can't wait for that. So
actually, to me, we have a better chance of them re-releasing or releasing a Bespin Chewbacca than a Bespin Han. It's just at this point, it's what's the holdup? They should have just announced it, even though they teased it in the Bespin Leia. But I don't know.
Wait, have we seen a prototype yet, other than the Bespin Leia pictures?
No, we haven't.
So that's the case. That's a big case that we might not see a Bespin Han anytime soon.
No.
It's so much opportunities to show that off.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, Bespin Luke's coming before that one.
Hell, we will get a General Kenobi Clone Wars before we see a Bespin Han.
All right, so now hold that thought.
We might even get a Jar Jar Binks before the stupid.
That'll be a day one for me.
We're gonna get a Lobo. We're gonna get a Lobo before Han Solo.
No, stop that with the Lobo. Stop that with the Lobo.
If they make a Lobo,
Lobot, no, not Lobot. Get out of here.
If they make a Lobot, oh my gosh, that Bespin Lando would just skyrocket.
All right, crazy. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Nate. If they came out with Lobot, it would be selling. It would be trending better than the Tusken Raider.
I'll say yes. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, I could see Lobot trending better than the Tusken Raider because Lobot is another figure that it's an accessory figure to Lando. So, ancestral figures do well together, and that's why people are picking up Han right now for their Bespin Leias, because who are you gonna pose up peasant Leia with right now? Nobody until Lando pops up.
She's larger than life. You could display her. It's Leia. It's Leia or Gata. You could display her by herself, right?
Yeah, actually,
that's true. Yeah,
that's true. Actually, with the Bespin Leia, you could definitely display that by itself because it has a nice background. It's just an elegant figure. But I agree. Yeah, you could definitely display that.
I prefer the Hoth Leia. I prefer the snowsuit.
And here's the thing. I've heard good points before about even the Empire Strikes Back Yoda. Who are you going to display that with besides the DX-07, which is so hard to get? But I think it's the same thing. When it comes to Yoda, larger than life. Just like the Emperor can be on his throne all by himself in a case, you could take that Yoda, give him his own little spot.
Pizza Boy also said Bespin Leia can pose up with Vader and Boba. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's how I have it right now, actually, on my shelf.
Yeah, I just have my Hoth Leia with Return of Jedi Luke together, so that's what I have.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. So it's hard to get through one of these without bringing up Anakin, but we're going to have to because we've got some Anakin news. And regular Anakin, Revenge of the Sith, the non-Darkside version, has entered the $600 tier range. Every week we get on here, I talk about it in every stream. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And you have Darkside Anakin that is continually moving in that $700 tier range. Let's go ahead and bring some recent auctions up. So you go to Anakin regular. So you can see right here, April 3rd, $750.49 on a listing. Let's go ahead and go to an auction. And let me scroll down on it. March 24th, 32 bids, $601 and rising. Look, I could bring up a ton of these. I can bring up a ton of Darkside Anakins. We talk about it all the time. But here's the thing that's really interesting, Mike, is, and Nate brought this up, I think this was a figure you were referring to. This is coming. They see what's going on. Let me actually go to this first because I'm going to tie all these together. I'm going to tie the Anakins in with this. So here's a non-deluxe. I'll say it again. Non-deluxe Obi-Wan. 37 bids. April 3rd.
That's disrespectful.
100.
That's disrespectful.
And
right
$10. $510. And this is getting close to entering the $500 tier range with the deluxe one. So, I think, to PJ's point, Nate's point, Hot Toys is looking at how these are doing in the secondary market. I don't know why there's a delay on this. My opinion is they have to focus so much on upcoming content, on Disney Plus, not only for Star Wars with the season 2 Mandalorian, but Falcon and Winter Soldier. You got WandaVision. They have things they had to do. I believe this is still coming this year. I believe that this will happen by or before the summer because it brings up hype with those other Clone Wars figures that are on pre-order. Mike, I don't even know how you can build a Clone Wars collection without really having this figure. Yeah. So for me, I know I was talking to somebody this week about I have the Darkside Anakin.
That's beautiful right there.
But I don't have the Revenge of the Sith Anakin.
And that's
okay.
I'm
not going to buy it for that price. I'm going to buy this one. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. I have the Darkside Anakin, and I don't have the regular version, and I'm going to get this one. When this one went up for pre-order, the regular Anakin, it took a hit a little bit. It did. The Darkside didn't, but now the Darkside didn't budget at all. But the regular Anakin, it did go down a little bit, and I am really shocked that it's back up to $600. I mean, it's a great figure, but you're getting this. I mean, this one, it's a great head scope. It's amazing. So
it's what I'm going to
get. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the movie. It's the Clone Wars is popular, but that Revenge of the Sith movie is for me it's the best movie out of the prequels by far. It's better than the sequel movies. So it's a popular movie, and if you have I don't know what to say. I can't. I really don't know why that figure is at 600 right now. I can see the Darkside one because that's a different look, and it was an exclusive, and it comes with that base.
Well, and it's really Darth Vader, right? That's the first.
And it's Darth Vader, exactly.
It's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's Lord Vader right there.
Yeah, so I'm surprised by this regular version of Anakin from Revenge of the Sith going up that high, especially when this one is coming out. It's coming out next year or so.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to PJ from there on that thought. So piggybacking off what Mike just said, PJ. So, my initial thoughts, the way what's happening with the Shore Trooper, what's happening with the Death Trooper, what's happening with anything, with these Boba Fetts.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that when the final production photos come out on this, Darkside Anakin was going to go down, regular Revenge of the Sith. I actually think it's going to go up. As a matter of fact, that Death Trooper came out for Mandalorian, and all the other Rogue One Death Troopers start trending up. And so is it because Star Wars hot, or if you're first coming into this hobby now, and you're discovering Anakin, and you're discovering the prequels, and you're discovering the importance of this character, I see why you want it in your collection.
Yeah. So, I might go off in a little rant here. So, not rant, a good rant. And I'm just going to, what it is. And that's why we do these shows, right? To educate our viewers and some of the subscribers and everybody. So, here's the thing.
Mind your words, bro.
Yeah. But so here's the thing is that for the people, so Star Wars was in a bad place 3 years ago, especially with Hot Toys. I mean, you could have bought that New Hope Han for $200. People couldn't get rid of it. You could have bought that Jyn Erso for less than retail. Why? Because of the sequel trilogy. I hate to say it, because of the sequel trilogy. Really put a damper in Star Wars. So Mandalorian comes around and just brings back Star Wars where it needs to be. So that's why you're seeing all these Star Wars figures trending up. So going to Anakin, and not to veer off topic too much here, Anakin, okay, for the people that missed out on it and, was oh, well, Darkside Anakin's going to be around for a very long time. It sat on Sideshow for 2 years.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
So for me, I'm a big, huge Anakin fan. That's probably the one figure. Darkside Anakin is the one figure I will never, ever sell. And that's because they're not going to reissue that Darkside Anakin. They will reissue the light side Anakin, and that's why I sold it. I really didn't want to sell the light side Anakin, but I know they're going to reissue that because the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is coming up, and there's going to be some flashback scenes because Hayden Christensen is going to be there. Hayden Christensen is going to redeem himself from the prequel trilogy because he's got a lot of hate in that trilogy. The people didn't think he could act. He's going to come and he's going to really act his ass off. And
I agree.
And he's going to just make everybody regret passing on the Darkside Anakin. But Hot Toys, they only need a little bit of an excuse to reissue something, and that will be the time for them to reissue the light side Anakin. Darkside Anakin, not so much. It's a Toy Fair exclusive. They cannot do that. They would just lose out on the exclusive. I can't speak, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Exclusivity, sure, no, absolutely,
yeah.
And I think, look, and even though it wasn't exclusive, and I think Hot Toys would be very savvy in the regard of, hey, let's get because there's some people that have Darkside Anakin. If they give us a different version of Darkside Anakin, and I absolutely think we're going to get one with the upcoming Obi-Wan series, in some form or another, perhaps even a couple of Hayden Christensen head sculpts. Then you get collectors that have everything. That part, you get even more collectors because it's not a straight reissue. But one thing before I turn it to you, Nate, it says here, Negan ex-Army. Would you guys ever part out with the Darkside Anakin? So I will tell you, the way that this is
absolutely not.
You out of your mind, I tell you, you out of your mind.
Never ever part out a figure. Never ever part out a figure. That's always been one of my many rules. Never ever part out a figure, because if you do decide to sell that figure later on and you're missing accessories, you're going to lose out a lot of money.
Mhm.
A lot of people buy these figures for the accessories. They buy for that base. They buy for that, all these that portrait and all, So
Mhm.
yeah, don't part out any figure because you're gonna regret it later on. That's just my
And
opinion.
then, I totally agree with that. I mean, even though I think you can get that Darkside Anakin head sculpt for $350 right now
Holy jeez, God.
on
Holy,
eBay,
He's
that
not
is the
lying.
golden rule. That is
He's
the
not
golden rule with
lying.
that.
Yeah, no.
But however, Nate, but before going to you on your thoughts on this, before we move on, I will say, as far as parting with the figure, if you're talking about like also, would I ever sell this figure? And to answer your question, as someone who's been doing this for many, many, many years, for me, yes, I would. Because if they're going to come out with more Anakin figures and other Anakin figures, I mean, right now that's trending, $700 tier range. I believe that this is going to be an $800 tier range figure. In theory, I can get 3 to 4 figures with this Darkside Anakin figure in time. And as a collector and someone who's been doing this a long time, would I actually consider doing that? Remember, I love this hobby and I love collecting, but I'm not so in love with a piece that I just can't see it go. If I think, hey, you know what, I can get, especially if it's 4 figures, Nate, that are going to trend like the heavy infantry Mandalorian or the IG-11 or probably like that deluxe Boba Fett, I just might do it. What do you think?
Okay, this is what I was gonna say. You're out of your damn mind if you're gonna sell your Darkside Anakin.
No,
Okay, you're out of your damn freaking mind. But that's the collector.
Yep.
But as far as resale concerned, and if Anakin is not, if the Darkside, and you currently have the Darkside Anakin and the Lightside Anakin, and the Darkside Anakin is doing pretty well as far as like price is concerned, and he's also considered the Vader of Anakin's, right? I have him, but I would never part with him because he was my first Anakin, and he is the definitive Anakin for me as far as Return of Revenge of the Sith, the Darkside Anakin. This is where he becomes Darth freaking Vader, that freaking moment, and we talked about that. As far as the regular Anakins are concerned from Revenge of the Sith, I don't have much of a admiration for it because he didn't do nothing. He only killed Dooku with the Anakin. That's it. Which is fine. Like if you don't have a Darkside Anakin and you have the regular Anakin, that's all cool. That's all good for you. But as far as Darkside Anakin is concerned, I do not trust Hot Toys at this point. After what happened with the Nightmare Batman, I don't trust any Toy Fair exclusive anymore. They can reissue a damn figure in a 2-pack. They could do a Obi-Wan Kenobi / or not even, they could do a Darth Vader and Darkside Anakin 2-pack from the Obi-Wan series. You never know. So if you are in the boat where you do own a Darkside Anakin and he's mint condition, or hell, it's not even mint condition, there could be issues with it. People will still buy it. I say, if you don't have much love for that figure, I say sell it now, sell it before the show starts. Because if Hot Toys drops that Darkside Anakin reissue in a 2-pack or some form, you will lose money on the Darkside Anakin. So
Yeah.
Well,
I say if you're gonna sell Darkside Anakin, sell before the show.
Well, we're here real quick. This is a good point. The way Ray is going, you could just go ahead
hell
and
no.
trade a Ray.
Hell no.
straight up.
No way.
Okay.
Don't ever put them
Yeah.
in the same. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
But that's a great point, Nate. I forgot about Nightmare Batman. But to be honest, like you have to think like they did a 2-pack. You still have to pay like $500-$600 just for that Nightmare Batman, especially if you don't want that Superman in your collection. Because then like say you just want Superman, right? Like I'm just giving an example. Like so they they released a 2-pack with another Obi-Wan Kenobi and a Darkside Anakin, right? Which I don't know if they will. But you still have to pay that price, that $500-$600 for that, just for that figure in your collection. So if you guys want to take that chance with Darkside Anakin, yeah, sell now. If you really don't think that you have.
Well, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. If the thing is, as for me, I will never sell my Darkside Anakin because I have so much love for that figure. But if you not saying that the people that are selling their Anakins don't have the love for a figure, but if you're able to sell that figure because you're not doing anything with it, do it.
Yeah, I say for me, I would sell the light side Anakin before the dark side, just because.
If you got both, sell the light side Anakin because he's going that high money right now. If you got
the Clone Wars Anakin, so you
got the Clone Wars Anakin, you have the hero Anakin, you got the hero Anakin. That's the hero. I'm getting him. So
yeah, and the only thing I'm sorry, and the only thing that the light side Anakin has over the dark side Anakin is the Dooku saber, which I have a Dooku. So I'm pairing it. It's like
it has the red laser. Yeah.
So but yeah, I would say the light side Anakin over the dark side because I'm not sure if you're gonna get that base again.
No, you're not gonna get the base. No. The Nightmare Batman didn't get the original base with the BVS. No, it's getting the Justice League base. So
yeah,
and all good points here, and Jedi Patrol timing in too. No reissues are off limits for Hot Toys. So. And get paid now if that's what you want to do. And I think, looking at it from a business perspective, PJ, you brought it up earlier, they're looking at some of these figures go $600, $700, $800, and they're thinking to themselves, hey, let's go ahead. And I see they certainly did a reissue of the Empire Strikes Back Vader in the 40th anniversary package. They did it with Boba Fett. They did it with Attack of the Clones Yoda. But I think, and I think it's apropos for some of these figures, but again, like the aforementioned heavy infantry Mandalorian, sometimes, you could think, hey, I could capitalize by getting everybody who has that figure. Now you're going to have to want to buy the other Boba Fett. You don't just want the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. You want the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, and you want the animated Boba Fett, and you want the vintage color Boba Fett, and you want Season 1 Mandalorian OG, and you want the Beskar version of Mandalorian, and we're going to get to it in a little bit. But, really, how are they going to sell, if they're not going to give us a speeder bike anymore with the Season 2 edition of the Mandalorian? I think the way that they go ahead and sell us this, and not really a segue, but it's just going into that right now to sell us a Season 2 Mando is to give us a head sculpt now, because they're going to come out, PJ, with a Luke Skywalker from the Mandalorian. They already teased it with the Dark Trooper. We know that that's coming. So they already gave us a Bo-Katan then that also with a head sculpt. So with that final scene with Din Djarin, where Grogu gets him to take the helmet off, and then you're seeing R2 and Luke, go with Grogu to the elevators. People could set that up in their collection. So I can certainly see people, wanting to get the Season 2 Mando, especially if it comes with a head sculpt. I actually don't think we got it, PJ, already, because they're trying to sell the Beskar one.
Yeah, exactly. And, with the Mandalorian, I think the latest season, you kind of have, because not a lot of people are just going to buy it just for a spear and like a different thigh armor, right? They have to differentiate that from the deluxe Beskar Mando Season 1, and the best way to do that is release it with the swoop bike that they teased in last year.
I don't think it's going to happen. Since they removed it from Secret Base, I have my doubts they're going to release that. I want it. Don't get me wrong. I want it.
But what else can you give it a portrait and stuff, but to be honest, I don't like him without the helmet. He just looks like a straight up bum, like without the helmet.
Blasphemy.
He does. I'm like, whoa, put that helmet back on, man.
No, that's my Latino brother. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to my
tell your
brothers,
Latino
man.
brother to fix his hair. No, I'm just kidding. He's got helmet hair. No, I'm just kidding. But and going back to Jedi Patrol's what he said about the reissues and no figure is safe. That's true to a certain point. But look at the Death Trooper, right? And look at the Shore Troopers. We got somewhat of a reissue, but not really, because you're still missing some key accessories that you wish that you had. Like for the Death Trooper Specialist, you were missing that long DLT 19 rifle, right? That you didn't get with the regular Mandalorian Death Trooper.
No, don't get me wrong. Though.
Yeah, so
like you mentioned before. You got cut off there, but like you mentioned before, PJ, we might get the Darkside Anakin again, but we won't have that base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won't have that base from the Sideshow exclusive. So there's ways where Hot Toys can reissue figures, but they won't drop that special item that came from the original. Like you said, like the Death Trooper. There's ways for Hot Toys to do it. Ever since they did the Nightmare Batman, all bets are off. All bets are off. I'm not saying go off and sell your damn Darkside Anakin right now, but I'm saying is be mindful that the prices might go down just a tad if they do that. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
I would. Gentleman would never display Mando with the portrait. Well, the thing is, if you already got one Beskar Mando with the regular helmet, then the other one, then the other Mando would just use the head sculpt with it.
Yeah, I see, and that's the thing. It's just like I don't know if Hot Toys are gonna do that because they're like, not a lot of people are gonna want like just a, the Beskar Mando with just the spear and his spear and like he's a bum with it out there. He is.
Oh,
like,
no. You know what I'm saying? The light up Darksaber. Introduced us a light up Darksaber with the Cody half hand light up. They can do that. Just pop that up.
They could do that, but then like you're gonna take away from people wanting to get the Moff. Like you get the Moff Gideon and get the.
Well, that was not light up though. I'm just saying. They just give me the portrait, PJ. Stop saying no.
Listen, I want that super spike, man.
They have to find a way, and I
release the portrait.
Release the super spike.
Release them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that look, even for a lot of us that wouldn't display with the portrait, you're still going to get the figure, probably, even if they give you. You might keep it in the art box. And I think that, again, Hot Toys, I think, is that, there were some real distinguished, differences between Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett, and Return of the Jedi. And I know that there is as well here, but I don't think as much. I certainly think a head sculpt would do that. But Mike, going to you, you could see right here, this OG Mandalorian is on the move again. So it's starting to trend up. I pulled up a recent auction here, April 9th, $355 with 10 bids, not including shipping. So this is not a fad again. This is starting to rise back up into the high $300 tier range. I believe this will be, we talked about it last stream, a $400 tier range figure. I think it'll get into the $500 tier range as well. So, your take on this with that, this is obviously very distinguishable from the Beskar version that's coming out and everything that, these points here that PJ's bringing up. And Nate, do you think they're going to give us a head sculpt with this? Is the removal of the speeder bike a, indication of that?
Yeah, this one is going to keep going up. Obviously, it just displays great with the child too. I had the Beskar version, the one with the pram. I displayed the pram with this one because it looks fabulous. And like we said, Star Wars got saved by Mando, right? By Mandalorian, that and Clone Wars too. I want to throw Clone Wars in there too, season 7. Absolutely. But so Mandalorian saved Star Wars, and it got it back to like where the hype is going crazy right now. So, and this is the main character from the show, and this is the first time we see him in this gear for the first time. In this gear, so obviously this figure is going to keep going up and up and up unless they reissue it. But I don't see it happening because he's not going to go back to that armor anytime soon. So yeah, this one's going to be this is going to be the Grail. It's going to be the Grail of the show, I think. Out of all the figures that we have right now.
Mike, and you used to collect a Black Series. I'll ask this to you before I bring it back to Nate and PJ on this. So someone brought up a great point this week. So they're coming out with animated Boba. They came out with the animated Boba Fett. They gave us the vintage color Boba Fett. Mando now is starting to get his own popularity, and the Black Series released this kind of this figure recently of Mando that's this credit edition or something. I don't even know.
Oh yeah.
So do you think Hot Toys can give us a kind of like a novelty item like that for this OG Mando?
Sure, they can. We're gonna do it. I wouldn't put it by it definitely. I wouldn't be interested in it, but people will be. So there's going to be a lot more Mandos coming. I just don't see him reissuing this one. But yeah.
Well, and Nate, going to you with that. So I don't know if you're familiar with that figure with the Black Series. It's credit edition. Maybe somebody in the chat knows what it is. But,
it's credit edition. Yeah.
Credit edition. So
It was an Amazon exclusive. Amazon exclusive. They made Cara Dune. They made IG-11. They made all
that ain't coming.
Yeah. Well, Cara Dune they made her, and actually she sat on the shelf for for weeks, and then obviously
not anymore.
Not anymore. Now she's going for $100. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but Nate, I mean, in the short term, can you see Hot Toys putting out there a vintage color of Mando, if you will?
You out of your mind? You're out of your damn mind! What is wrong with you? Why you think that's gonna happen? No, they're not gonna do a vintage OG Mando. Now, I do see maybe season 3 flashback where we do see the OG Mando and a better looking look before he messed it up during his fights through bounty hunting. I could see that happening. But that's the only thing. He's just too early right now for a freaking reissue. Unless you're a Boba Fett, then yes, they're gonna reissue Boba Fett's like no tomorrow. And right now, I think Hot Toys is focusing on trying to get the season 2 Mando out versus going back trying to re-release a season 1 OG Mando. He's only at 400 tops, maybe hitting 500 eventually. But right now, like what PJ said earlier, Hot Toys, they look in the market, and if the figure is selling for 800, 1,000, if OG Mando starts hitting that market, then maybe we might see a reissue or some type of vintage version. But I doubt it. I doubt it. It's just too early with that, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Nate and Michael. I don't see them reissuing this anytime soon. And man, did I tell you guys in my review to pick up this figure if you guys were on the fence? Because this thing, you guys are not going to get this figure for a long time.
Dude, and BJ, you know how many people said no to the Anakins before the hype started? Hell,
you know how many people told me?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know how many people I had to argue about I'm on the fence about the pre-Beskar? I'm like, dude, just get it because you're not going to...
Dude, I got 2 of those. I got 2 of them things.
Exactly.
I got 2 OG Beskars.
And then they don't pick it up. And then I'm like, oh, it's sold out. Well, did you pick it up? No. Well, I told you. But the thing is, I agree with you. They're focusing on so many things now. You guys have to understand, there's a lot more shows popping up, like Book of Boba. You got the Kenobi. You got, I don't know what Star Wars movie they're planning. They got all these shows that's lining up and that Hot Toys has to put out figures for. They're not going to go, hey, let's go reissue pre-Beskar Mando unless it hits the $800, $900 range, price range. But I think they're going to reissue this once the show is done. I think this is I believe it's a 5-6 season show. So expect it to be reissued then, but it's too soon right now. It's too soon for them to reissue. I definitely see this going for I definitely see this going for 600 by the end of the summer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely see that as well. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, we're hitting over 120 right now, so that's certainly a record for the live edition of the Market Value Chart Show. So thank you so much. Please go ahead and smash that like button while you're going ahead and watching it, and I appreciate it. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel for sure. And PJ, to your point, Hot Toys does have to plan. They have production to schedule. They have capacity to consider. And not just Star Wars. They have Marvel, DC, and everything else that they're doing. So I totally agree. I think that they have to prioritize a lot of different things. Now, if they know they're going to get, a lot of money with a certain figure, and whether it's a reissue, like they did with the, Darth Vader, Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett, sure, they can do that. Right now, with everything coming out with Mandalorian, no, I don't see it in the short term. But definitely an interesting question. Sometimes looking at other lines, like that credit edition for Mando. Yeah.
And I was going to just make a really quick point, Aris, is that if they wanted to reissue it, they would have done so. I mean, they did that with
the Boba Fett. The Boba Fett. They did it after it sold out. Reissued.
Iron Man Mark 50 and Infinity War Thor.
That's right.
they reissued those figures like immediately after it was sold out. They were like, oh shoot, we're making more. They didn't do it with OG Mando, so yeah, they're not going to do it anytime soon. So,
oh, another thing I wanted to say, segueing from PJ's damn Iron Man and Thor reissues. Hell, like if we're getting so many freaking Iron Mans, we might be getting so many Mandos just for that character alone. Reissue wise, nah. But as far as character versions, hell, we might even get the battle scarred Mando at one point. I would love that. The battle scarred Mando with the E-Web cannon. I would love that so much. Just battle scar him up and just have the E-Web cannon. He's just mowing down people in the season 1. I would love that.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. So we're going to go ahead and go to Sideshow real quick. So again, big shout out to everybody who is watching. Thank you so much. Please go ahead. If you don't know PJ and the Paradox Nerd channel, and PJ, what's your other channel besides? I think you have 2 now, right?
oh yeah, well, I do a Sithcast YouTube channel that just strictly focuses on Star Wars talk, like statues and Hot Toys and theories and other stuff. So yeah, if you guys love Star Wars, yeah, definitely consider subscribing to the Sithcast podcast YouTube channel. So
absolutely, and again, also Nate and Nate's Geeking Out channel, and Mike, the Action Figure Cave. All 3 of these guys do an amazing job. They talk a lot of Hot Toys as well. So you definitely want to.
What is up with people in Lobot?
Lobot's
why do people like Lobot? Why?
Because it goes with that Lando.
How could you not like Lobot, man?
Why? I swear to this is why I'm getting mad. Is the fact that I'm afraid, okay? I am afraid that with all this trolling of the Lobot, we actually might get a Lobot before Bespin Han. Can you imagine that? You know how disrespectful would that be?
You can thank Harrison Ford for that.
It's not a disrespectful.
Before Bespin
It
Han.
is a disrespect.
Listen.
Yeah, I don't want to pose my Lando with Lobot. I want Bespin Han. Give me Bespin Han, man.
All right, so listen, I want to bring this up. We were talking a lot about the Mando here. And so I have this sorted out best-selling wise on SideshowCollectibles.com. So you have an all Star Wars Hot Toys. And you can see what has creeped up all the way to the 3rd bestseller for Star Wars is Captain Rex. Now, I will tell you with Captain Rex that we originally had conversations, Mike and Nate, in previous streams about this figure, and I spoke about it in some prior episodes, that because of the way Cody was going and the way some people kind of waited and lingered on getting Cody because he sat in stock for a couple of minutes, that we weren't going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, if you would, with Captain Rex, and that this figure was going to be in stock for considerably less time.
Yeah,
for sure. But now, when you go ahead and look at this figure, and you see it now all the way up at number 3, right behind the Mandos, right now, and then obviously pulling this up right here on the screen, the 2nd trailer of the Bad Batch, and this comes out May 4th, and Rex is in that trailer. And right off the bat, I started to say, along with a lot of other people in the community, about this figure. It was already looking like people weren't going to sleep on this one because of Cody. You could rest assured now, because he's in the Bad Batch, or they showed him in the 2nd trailer, that they're not going to sleep on this figure. And I'm actually not surprised that the pre-order wise of Rex is starting to go up and up like you're seeing. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this to Mike. I think it's your turn for this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and bring us back to here and go to this question. Is it possible that Captain Rex will hit waitlist before it even gets in stock because of what's going on with Cody in the secondary market, and because now he's got double firepower He's got an extra jetpack with the hype of the Bad Batch. What say you?
Well, he's definitely going to sell out faster than Cody did. Will it go to wait lists? So before it gets in stock, like the heavy Mando did. I don't know, because I'm not sure how many they're making of Rex. I mean, Rex is a popular character. I mean, he's coming from the Clone Wars, Storming Rebels. So they're probably going to make a lot more than Rex, but it looks great. It looks fantastic, and Cody's out already. He's sold out. So I got to say, don't wait on it. I say pre-order it. I say definitely, I'm going to say it's going to go to wait list right away. I'm saying yeah. I had to think about it for a little bit, but after I think go ahead and pre-order that figure right now. Don't play around with that figure because Rex is more popular than Cody. I think, right? I mean,
I think it's possible.
Yeah,
PJ, what do you think?
I don't see the thing is, I don't know how many people actually pre-ordered Cody in the beginning, right? Because usually Sideshow and Hot Toys, they kind of go with the amount of pre-orders that were given out. I would say yes. I would say it would sit for a little bit before. I don't think it's going to sell out. Usually with Heavy Mando and the Mud Trooper, those were special occasions that it sold out before it got to stateside. That's because, or even Heavy Mando didn't really sit around too long, maybe a day before it got waitlisted. Mm-hmm. That's because there wasn't a lot of pre-orders with those figures. With this one, there's going to be a lot more, especially it was kind of released around like the same time Ahsoka was announced, or it was announced around the same time as Ahsoka. So it's like almost like, how could you get Captain Rex without Ahsoka, right? Or how could you have Captain Rex without the Clone Wars Anakin? So yeah, it's going to sit on Sideshow's website for a little bit, but it's definitely going to go faster than Cody. Than what he sat around for. So yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna sell out before it gets to stateside.
Nate, what say you?
I agree with PJ. It's not gonna sell out. The reason why is because it's the pre-orders. People, I was seeing posts when Rex first popped up. People were literally canceling their Codys. You guys are out of your damn minds. Y'all are out of your damn minds for canceling Cody. Why you do that to my boy Cody? Y'all are out of your damn minds. And I look at you right now trying to find Cody for a reasonable price. That's what you do. That's what you get. That's what you get. But anyway, as far as Rex is concerned, we are gonna get a good batch of them because of all these pre-orders for Rex. And he might sell out as quickly as Cody. He will sit for a bit. For add to cart before selling out, but he's not going to sell out before the actual release, because here's why. Figures that do sell out before release are the ones with the low pre-orders or the limited release. For example, the Arkham Knight Batman Prestige, that figure was a limited release. Limited, okay? That's the reason why it sold out so quickly. There were so many pre-orders that were happening for that figure, they just cut that, and it sold out like literally a few weeks when it was finally released for pre-order. So that's just wild when that sold out, and that was blue screen everything. I think I remember seeing Cody for blue screen for a moment for pre-orders, but then they fixed that and went back to just pre-order wise. So in a way, don't think that more pre-orders means limited release, because that's what people are feeling. Like, oh, there's more pre-orders, that means it's going to sell out faster. Not really, because the thing is, when they see those pre-orders, they're going to see the demand. And that's why a lot of resale collectors get mad over people pre-ordering too much. Because let's say you do pre-order, like 5 Rexes, but you end up like, oh, I can't get the 4 Rexes, I'm just going to get 1. Then those numbers get fluctuated, and he's like, crap, now the resale market is ruined because of the damn so many people pre-ordered Rex. So the thing is, Hot Toys does look at the numbers and how things are relative to the pre-orders, and they work with that. Yeah. Unless it's a limited release, kind of like the Arkham Knight Prestige Batman, and then it just all hands on deck, get that pre-order before it sells out. I still believe you need to get that freaking pre-order for Rex.
Yeah, and that's the key. And that's the key, Nate. I really believe, whether it's going to go on waitlist or not, before he even showed up in the Bad Batch trailer, we were already talking about that. This is probably, if Cody sat in stock for 2 minutes, Rex was probably going to sit in stock 1 minute. So even if he doesn't go on waitlist, that he's in there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's not a whole lot of time. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it this week, or I'll do it next Wednesday. I'll put it in. And I'll tell you right now, because Cody actually shot up immediately to $350 like the OG Mandalorian. As soon as this Rex hits waitlist, it will do exactly, if not more, where Cody is, go up to $350. Don't you think so, Nate?
For
sure. I mean, it'll go to $350. It's Rex.
Well, immediately, without a doubt, the resale market will jump on this figure immediately when it sells out, especially with the Bad Batch reveal of Rex in the show. Yeah, he's immediately going to be at $350. A little faster than Cody. Cody took a minute to get to $350 because unfortunately people don't like Cody because of what he did to General Kenobi, which I'm like, y'all are wild. Hey. Come on, y'all. Don't do this to your Cody because you're going to be asking for him. You're going to be asking for him.
People don't like the Emperor because of what he did to Mace, but Mace is coming. All right. Yeah. Well, leaving this Bad Batch on the screen real quick. May the 4th is coming. And I'll bring this to you, Nate, first. With this figure, is it possible Hot Toys is going to give us Hunter, this trooper here, on May 4th? They've given us from the Falcon and Winter Soldier a figure for that. They've given us, obviously, with WandaVision. Are we going to go ahead and get a Hunter here on May 4th from Hot Toys for the Bad Batch? What do you say?
To start things off, yeah, I could definitely see them dropping Hunter for May the 4th for the Bad Batch. Hot Toys did say they're working on Clone Wars and Bad Batch figures, but what I'm afraid of is that we might not be getting the rest of the team because they're all weirded out as far as like looks are concerned. I could see maybe Hunter and maybe Wrecker, but everybody else is going to be up in the air. But I definitely see Hunter to start things off because it's going to be tough because of of the different designs, and I could see them just reissuing a freaking Tarkin just for the show and give us a Tarkin, for the collectors that missed out from New Hope.
Could you actually see now the Hot Toys is on a trend recently, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but they're on this trend where they're giving us 2-packs. So PJ, is it possible, just like they did Nightmare Batman and Dark Suit Superman, that they give you Hunter, but as Nate's saying now give you the reissue of Tarkin in a 2-pack? Could they throw something like that at you and say, here you go, here's your Bad Batch deluxe set?
It's hard, right? Because one thing about like Commander Cody and some of the rest of the the clones, Cody and Rex, it's the Tamura Morrison head sculpt like that they're throwing in there, right? Because it's the same. I don't know about the Bad Batch, right? Because a lot of them, they're significant without their helmets, right? Like they all look different, and I'm not sure how they're gonna do it, and how they're gonna look without with their portraits and stuff. If I see them releasing a Bad Batch figure, it's gonna be with the helmet and nothing else. But it's gonna be hard because their faces makes them unique to each other, right? You look at the screen right now. Like, look at that picture. All of them look different.
This Clone Force 99. Who would you guys say, or who would you say are the two most prominent ones? Because maybe you can get to a Clone Trooper 2-pack here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, that's what I could see happening is maybe them releasing the Bad Batch with just the helmets on. I don't know if Tarkin they could reissue Tarkin. That could give them a good opportunity to for them to reissue Tarkin. I got to see the show to see how they do that because they might do it with different accessories, right? Like they might with the Tarkin that we got with the 2-pack and the single pack, it came with the chair. So how are they going to reissue Tarkin at this point? Are they going to reissue him with another figure, like you guys said? Which it's going to be hard to do that because the Bad Batch, they're a crew, so you want the whole crew. Or they reissue Tarkin with just different accessories. I don't know. I have to watch the show to see how they do that.
The thing is, I see Tarkin coming out before we see actual full.
Yeah,
Bad Batch.
I agree.
Because like you say, PJ, and like I was saying, these figures are too different. I see maybe two of the popular ones, Hunter and Wrecker. The other guys, unfortunately, Echo. Everyone likes Echo as the ARC Trooper, not what he became, not Lobot 2.0. Okay, so I'm just saying, I could see if they even release this, I could see people kid bashing Echo into Lobot. Hell, I wouldn't surprise me if freaking Filoni turns Echo into Lobot. I'm like, yeah, he becomes Lobot. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. But either way, Hunter and Wrecker are my two Bad Batches that will probably be coming out because they're the most popular ones.
Well, it's gonna be hard, Nate, because if you release them, you're just gonna create a uproar in the community where it's like, oh, where's Cyborg and where's it'll be like, where's the rest of the rest of the Bad Batch? Like
hell, we're still in an uproar about Solo, Bespin Han. Hell, Solo figures too. We don't see a young Lando. Hot Toys does not care anymore about completing their lines. Okay, they just gonna drop it and they're like, hey, you know what? They will come back to it. Hell, we still don't got even a base.
We're not getting a Bad Batch.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a Bad Batch.
No, we're gonna get a pre-order for May 4th, obviously, for Star Wars, but it's definitely not going to be a Bad Batch figure. I'll put money on that. There's no way. They want to see how it does the show. We don't know what's going to be good or not.
But they did mention they're going to be working on Bad Batch figures, so that's the thing.
If they are, it's going to be this character right here. This is where you kill two birds with one stone. You give a Fennec Shan figure, and you get a Fennec Shan from the Mandalorian. I think this will happen right here.
And that brings me to the next thing, Mike, Nate, and PJ, is I totally agree. Is it possible that we get a surprise announcement for Fennec Shand? And I'll give this one to me. And just like PJ said, yes. Because they will kill two birds with one stone. Heck, they'll actually kill three birds with one stone with this figure. She's obviously at Boba's side on Tatooine. That is coming out later this year. But you don't have to wait for that to come out, Nate. You don't have to wait for it.
But it'll be Mandalorian, right? It's going to be a Mandalorian figure, not a Bad Batch.
I think it'll be a Mandalorian figure. But, with the hype of the Bad Batch, there would be a lot of interest not only for the Mandalorian, but for the Bad Batch. Now, I do think, Mike, that they could make this a Bad Batch figure. I see your point, and I saw some comments in here as well. It's a very, very good point that, hey, they're not going to release these Bad Batch figures first. Let's see how they do. And typically, that's how they work with Star Wars. We really didn't get any Season 2 Mandalorian figures until after the Season 2 finished. However, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got, Winter Soldier right away. And when, they released the Snyder Cut, you got, Dark Suit Superman and Nightmare Batman right away. I mean, not everybody watched it that day or that weekend or, that quickly in a few days. It just got released. So is it possible that Hot Toys could perhaps be on a different trend right now where they're like, heck, it's Star Wars. You know what? It's Clone Force 99. It's not going to do that bad if it's really bad. Let's go ahead and release this figure. And then, Mike, I can see them making this a Bad Batch version. Why? because with the Clone Wars figures, they're using real head sculpts, just like they're using Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and for the Clone Wars version of Obi-Wan. So they would certainly use this head sculpt. Mike,
I think that no. I think that I think we're gonna maybe see her this character for the Mandalorian, but I don't think they're gonna redo. I mean, think about it. You talk about the Clone Wars, right? So we have those are main characters. There's Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker, the Clone Wars. Same thing with Obi-Wan. So I don't think we might see this character in the Mandalorian TV show from the TV show, but I don't think we're going to see a Bad Batch figure for that. Not quite yet. I mean, we have to see how this show does, and they're not going to. Hot Toys not going to be putting out figures for the show. Not seeing what the feedback is. So I mean, they might be working on figures. They're working on Padme for how long, right? Padme's been shown 3 years ago, and they still haven't, put her out. So I'm sure they are working on figures for the show, but I don't think they're gonna put a pre-order anytime soon. Maybe even if the season's over, they're gonna wait and see how the fans like it, and then maybe they will pre-order the figures. But I don't think we're gonna see that anytime soon.
PJ,
we're talking about the Fennec Shan, right?
Yes.
Showing up. Like I said before, I think this is what we're going to definitely get that figure in May the 4th. I know some people were mentioning that we're going to get that in on the May the 4th. I think you're, like you said, Aries, like you're killing 3 birds with one stone with that figure. I think she's gained enough popularity for Hot Toys to look into releasing that figure, and I think it'll happen. I think that's a great possibility. She who knows, you might get her in future Star Wars shows, not only with the with the Bad Batch, and maybe with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know. She could be just like one of those reoccurring like characters that show up in all these shows. Yeah. Just like what's that girl's name? Rosario Dawson that floated around in the Netflix Daredevil shows and stuff. But yeah, I like Fennec Shan. She's such a great character, and I would love her to be added on to my collection. It'll be nice to display her with the clean Mando. I mean the clean Boba.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that would look sick.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think we'll see this character, but as a Mandalorian figure.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't see her being a Bad Batch figure. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a Mandalorian figure.
Yeah,
because she made her appearance, made herself known as a freaking badass assassin in Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
and the accessories there are pretty cool too. So the sniper rifle, the helmet, all that. It'd be a lot of fun to have her with the Mandalorian, and also I'd rather have her for the season 2 Mandalorian, so you could expose the mechanics of her abs and all that jazz. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and go to the last couple of figures here before we go ahead and close the show. So the ones that I want to talk about here, first, Ahsoka. So here's the thing. We've talked about this before. There was a lot of questions early in the community. Hey, they're giving us the Ewan McGregor head sculpt with the Clone Wars Kenobi. They're giving us the Hayden Christensen head sculpt with the Clone Wars version of Anakin. Are they going to go ahead and give us the Rosario Dawson now head sculpt? Was this just kind of a, reserve, and are they going to change it? And I say no. It's an opportunity for Hot Toys. This figure looks absolutely amazing, number one. And number two, it's an opportunity that once this Clone Wars version comes out, which is younger than the Rosario Dawson version, then I believe in October, when this gets released, what you're looking at here for Ahsoka is, I think, even before the end of the year, you could get a Rosario Dawson Ahsoka from the Mandalorian series. And I don't think we have to wait for the Ahsoka series, because I think in some way, shape, or form, remember, a lot's going to happen in that series. You're going to see Thrawn, Ezra, this one, that one. She could have some different, unique. You can have her again You could have a different version, just like you get a different version of, you know, Black Widow. You know how many versions are out. So I don't think you even have to wait, PJ, for you know, Ahsoka. I could actually see them coming out with this figure this year once this one's released.
Absolutely. I don't think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot by releasing two Ahsokas at the same time. I think they're going to wait till this one gets released. It's probably going to sell out. Like, not as, I don't know if it's going to sell out as quick as Rex
Or the Codys, yeah.
or the Codys, just because there's a lot of people that love her and probably pre-ordered her. Non-Hot Toys and Hot Toys collectors. Because you have to think there are still like non-Hot Toys collectors that love Ahsoka so much that will pay the $250 price point for this figure.
Sure.
So, yeah, they're probably gonna wait until this sells out or close to being selling out. Then they're gonna announce the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka. I just don't think they're gonna do that anytime soon. So, yeah, towards the end of the year, I would say. Like, I agree with you. It's definitely gonna be towards the end of the year. They'll announce the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka.
Yeah, I really think so, Nate.
Not announce it, but I say reveal the prototypes.
Like tease it.
Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
Because here's the thing, though. They're currently working on the Ahsoka show, and I don't see them coming out with the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka for Mandalorian. I don't see that happening. I see them revealing not revealing the pre-order, but revealing the prototype, and then when the show starts coming out, then release the pre-order for that one. But as far as like Ahsoka Tano over here, I do agree with PJ. A lot of people are pre-ordering this one. I, for one, I wasn't even collecting Hot Toys at the time when Rogue One Darth Vader was up for pre-order, and that was my first Hot Toy, but that was my first and only Hot Toy I bought, and then I went back to Funkos, and then now I'm here with all these Hot Toys starting 2019. But as far as like the Darth Vader Rogue One, that was my first one, and I ordered them right at the Rogue One premiere because you know what? Let me just pre-order this. Because hey, come on, it's Rogue One and it's Darth Vader. Then when Rogue One ended with that Darth Vader moment, I looked up on the site, sold out, waitlisted. So
yeah, you know, whether they go ahead, I think in some way, shape, or form, whether it's going to be an official announcement or a tease of the Rosario Dawson one, I think that there's a couple of different ways that they can slice it. But let's face it, Mike, the internet broke when they announced this figure. And you had people in the fandom that came to Hot Toys just for Ahsoka. So, and you know how, I mean, you know, we talk a lot about Boba Fett and Luke. Wow, I think it was, episode 5 in The Mandalorian season 2, you know, which was just absolutely fantastic. So I think, you know, it's, even just from a money perspective and a business perspective, they do have to plan production. They do have to plan capacity. They do have other lines. But if they come out with a Mandalorian version of Ahsoka Tano after this comes out, I think it would possibly break the internet again. It would certainly be number one for a long time, pre-order wise, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think they, you know, and it's going to happen, but I think this one, obviously, they gotta sell the hell out of this figure first. You know, it's looks amazing. Obviously, like I said, it broke the internet when it first went up for pre-order. I don't think they're going to change the scope on this one here. That would be insane if they did that. That would be just a bad idea. But no. I don't think it's going to happen. But no.
Hell, a bad idea. Look what happened to the Mark 85. That was they changed it from the actual prototypes. So if they do it with this Ahsoka Tano, then people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I agree because I want this version of it. I mean, she's beautiful. So, but I think there's definitely a chance for a Mandalorian one. But I think it's gonna, you know, they're gonna wait a little bit. They're gonna sell this one, you know, sell as many as they can because they are. This is a popular character, and like you said, people are going to buy this figure even though they're not a Hot Toys collector. If they're a Clone Wars fan,
I'm planning to get 2 of these.
I
want one because of the design of the figure. That's the reason why I was not too happy with it slightly. Because of the seamless body, that means the body will break down eventually with all the posing. So that's why I want to get 2. I want one for fun, I want for just, you know, a nice simple pose. Because if you guys own the Wonder Womans with the seamless bodies, those have been a nightmare to maintain.
Well,
Good point. Yep.
we're going to go ahead and end the show with this figure. So I understand about all the pre-orders being delayed. I got the notification as well. For me personally, I'm not so shocked on that. I mean, when I first called them and they were telling me, oh, it's going to ship the end of March, I was like, well, this just got released in Hong Kong the end of February. I know there's a little bit of a trend where we're getting it early, but typically I've always planned where I'm going to get this figure 3-4 months later. In stock at Sideshow, typically. But putting that aside, we'll end with this. I've been saying this for a long time. They're not going to make as many of these as the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, which they made more of than people think, and that went on wait list before it got in stock. I absolutely believe. Sure, it's possible it'll get in stock, but I really believe. I feel strong that this is going to get wait list before it ever gets in stock. PJ, special guest, give it to you first.
Well, I've been saying it too. Like I think I said it in my review. Like, don't sleep on this figure. I said it in many live streams before. If you have the OG Mando, pick this up. And I've always been a firm believer is that, like, if you're on the fence on this figure or any Star Wars figures as of late, just pick it up, because you see the trends. You see like what Ares is doing here, and you see all the trends. Everything is going up. Everything is selling out. This, I don't think they're going to reissue anytime soon. If we get something like this, it's going to be an IG-88 from the Book of Boba. Just because it's such a hard figure to put together. The legs are die cast. It's a lot of weathering, a lot of good details on this figure. Yeah, it was just one of those things that, like, you're not going to see this figure for a very long time. So, guys, seriously, watching this show, if you're on the fence, get on the Sideshow's website. I don't work for Sideshow. Seriously, I don't. I'm not trying to boost up their sales there. But
what are you talking about? It's only available there.
I know, exactly.
I'm just saying.
I know, but
right.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like, seriously, I'm just trying to help out my fellow collectors. I don't want them to be like coming on the shows like, oh shit, that's trending. I cannot afford that anymore. No, pick up this IG-11 figure.
It's going to go fast.
It's going to go fast, absolutely, and it's going to be hard to get in the aftermarket.
Mike.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I'll be surprised if it stays in stock more than a week. I don't think it's going to be in stock. Yeah, if it gets there, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
It's like you said. I mean, this is a perfect comparing piece with the OG Mando. I mean, when I think of Hot Toys, I always think of like displaying both, two figures, and then just this figure and OG Mando would be that's the ultimate, for season 1 for Mandalorian. So. Yeah, definitely get this figure. I have it on pre-order. I cannot wait to get it, to be honest with you. So
I agree.
It's
a good figure, man.
You see where K2SO is. I'm telling you, it's destroyed.
Perfect example. Yeah, great point. Great point.
Nate, you get the final word.
You're out of your damn mind if you don't get this now. Get it. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this because I don't even know if this.
You're gonna spend $500-$600 on this figure,
dude. I don't even know if this figure is gonna survive after add to cart or even gonna get there. I don't know. With all the delays, this figure has been wild to me, and I know it's sold out everywhere else. So do not make the choice of waiting till it hits add to cart. Oh yeah, I'll wait till it hits add to cart so I use a coupon. You're gonna have to be sitting there every day looking at that freaking figure, resetting the freaking refresh page every 5 minutes. Come on, add to cart. Come on, add to cart. Come on, add to cart. Just don't do it. Just if you got $25 of reward points, just drop that. I don't care. Just get this figure in your pre-order list, because once the Trooper bike comes out, that's where you want to put him in. You're gonna put him in with the Baby Yoda and ride him till the sunset. I'm just saying. Don't do it.
Or could display with both Beskar and pre-Beskar Mando. It's just a great figure. I have it, and it's just one of those things that, like, I'm still shocked and how beautiful that this figure turned out, man. Like, just I didn't expect the die-cast parts. Let's put it that way. That was just like, whoa.
That's what sold it for me.
Yeah.
So, 112 right now. We've been going between 112, 125, absolute record. for the live edition of the Market Value Chart Show. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I so appreciate it. Please smash that like button, And real quickly here, Mike, go ahead and plug your channel real quick. Where can everyone find you?
Ashoka Cave, we do a lot of different things, but I put a video up last week, Hot Toys tour, so check it out. Ashoka Cave.
And Nate?
Nate Meister from Geeking Out. I usually just talk about hot toys, and I haven't done reviews in a while, but I'm looking to do a lot more videos on, SciShow, what's selling on the site, and pretty much Boston Spy reports. I also do movie reviews within those Boston Spy reports whenever I have guests for the live stream. So if you guys want to check me out, it's Geeking Out, and it's in the description, down below. And
PJ? I know we talked about Sithcast already, but go ahead one more time.
All right, so real quick, just to answer Cool Guy Joe's comment real quick. I know he said like IG-88 is dead. In Star Wars, no one's ever dead. Especially a droid can come back, so who knows, right? Yeah, so for me, PJ the Paradox Nerd, on my channel, I do a lot of like unboxings and reviews. I've actually just kind of shifted towards more just Star Wars things because I love Star Wars, as you can see. I'm very passionate about Star Wars, so if you guys like to see like the latest unboxings and reviews of Hot Toys figures as soon as they come out, the Star Wars ones at least, come over to my channel. And if you guys love like other Star Wars Hot Toys talk, statues, prop replicas, theories, all that good stuff, head on over to Sithcast Podcast YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Aries, for letting me plug.
No, absolutely. We got to have you back again. And everybody, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Really appreciate, PJ, you coming in on this show. And as usual, thank you very much, Mike, and thank you very much, Nate. I have the links to your channels within the video description below. Everybody go check them out, subscribe. PJ, you came in late, so I got to add it to the description, but I will tonight. I'll add your link within there.
Well, it's your boy, though. It's your boy. Everyone knows it's your boy, okay? Everybody know who this is.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks.
So,
absolutely.
No worries on the description. Like, everyone knows who this man is, okay?
Oh, absolutely. Real honor that you would join us here, for sure.
This man, literally got me into Hot Toys. Along with Easy Collectibles and PJ, these were the
enablers,
two, okay? The enablers, okay? These were the enablers. Like, I was like checking out videos. Oh, let me see. Do I need to get this Rogue One Darth Vader? Let me check out these videos. Oh, look at that. So.
But yeah, no, Aries, you guys, you're doing a great job with the channel. Keep up the great work. Really appreciate you having me on the show. This is a lot of fun. Anytime where I can come on to someone's live stream and talk about Star Wars and Star Wars Hot Toys, man, I just have a blast. And I really appreciate it. Got to have you on the live stream as well on both Sithcast and Paradox. So yeah, definitely look out for Aries coming on my show and my channel pretty soon. So
awesome. Yeah, it'd be a real honor. We're happy to
and the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Michael, I got to talk to you also about coming on, and Nate, you're always more than welcome to come on.
Oh yeah, man. We'll talk,
Sounds good, man.
If you want to join up, so
yeah.
And I won't be on Nate's on tomorrow. Sundays don't usually work for me, but I'll see you on Geeking Out's live stream on Wednesday, right there, Nate?
Wednesday stream, yeah. We're gonna be 6 p.m. starting the same time, 6 p.m. till 8. Might go a little later, but we'll see what happens on Wednesday. But we start usually at 6 p.m. For the Wednesday stream. And I think this Sunday, I got a few people that have dropped out, so I am looking for guests at this point for tomorrow's live stream. So hit me up.
Hey, listen, I got Lobot on speed dial, baby.
I hate you. Okay? Please stop bringing this Lobot stuff. I'm telling you, Lobot is going to be like freaking Beetlejuice. You keep saying his name. He's going to pop up for pre-order the next freaking day.
Okay? I'm sorry, but I think we'll get Wilbur Hood before we get Lobot. Oh, man.
Well, guys, thank you also very much again for everyone who's in here. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Appreciate the support. Please hit that like button. And remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. See you next time.